Welcome to reading lesson 94. If you don't have your book, pause your video, go grab your book, and open up to page 113. Now that you have your book and open up to page 113, let's look at this poem. I'm going to introduce this poem. What is your most precious treasure? I wonder what the author of this poem considers to be a great treasure. So let's read this poem together. It is entitled Treasures and it's by Bethany Roberts Urbina. So let's read it. You read it aloud while I read it with you. Ready? Go. Sometimes treasures shimmer like a perfect pile of gold. Sometimes they are passed along until they are worn and old. Sometimes treasures sparkle with the brightest blue or green, but the greatest of all treasures are the ones that can't be seen. Wow, that is a good little poem there. Now, here's the thing about it. I want you to answer this out loud once you have read it or once you hear me ask you. Now, which one of these words is used as a symbol? Is it sparkle? Is it treasure? Or is it shimmer? Did you say treasures? If you did, that is the word that is used as a symbol. Remember, a symbol is something that represents something else. So if you want to go further into this, we can read in the Bible in Matthew chapter 6, verses 19 to 21, and you'll read about how your treasures are ones that you cannot see. Okay, so let's go ahead and turn the page. Now we're going to start a story called Suppose, or you're going to read a story today called Suppose. Now the words to watch for here at the top are continuously, ravenous, forlorn, devour, obliged, currant, which is a small raisin like fruit, and make weight, which is anything added to a scale to bring it up to the desired weight. Now, this is called Suppose, and it is an excerpt from A Little Princess by Frances Hodgson Burnett. Now, I'm going to introduce the story. Now, do you like to play or pretend? I think we all did at one point. In our story, Sarah was hungry, cold, and tired. She starts to pretend that all is well. However, during her pretending, she encounters a blessing. As you read, you can discover the meaning of this mysterious title. Again, it's entitled Suppose. Now, the little excerpt here says while her father was fighting or is fighting a war in Africa, 7-year-old Sarah is left in a private boarding school in England. When her father is reported missing, Sarah must begin working in the kitchen and sleeping in an unheated attic room. So, what we're going to do today is I'm going to read the first two pages of this story, page 115 and 114. Um, Actually, I'll read 114 to 116, and then you will go ahead and read the rest on your own. And then look for the questions on Google Classroom. Suppose. I've noticed this. What you have to do with your mind when your body is miserable is to make it think of something else. When things are horrible, just horrible, I think as hard as I can of being a princess, Sarah said to her friend Becky with a laugh. Sarah had many opportunities of making her mind think of something else and many opportunities of proving to herself whether or not she was a princess. But one of the strongest tests she was ever put to came on a certain dreadful day, which she often thought afterward would never quite fade out her memory, even in the years to come. For several days it had rained continuously. The streets were chilly and sloppy and full of dreary cold mist. There was mud everywhere, sticky London mud, and over everything lay drizzle and fog.